think what I'm going to start with is just kind of explaining what I want to do and why I want to do it. As best as I can, because I really don't know exactly what it is that I want to do or how I want to do it. But I feel that I need to start getting these videos out here and getting more and more practice with it, since this is not anything that I've ever done or am accustomed to doing. Basically, what I want to do is I want to make videos explaining certain things that I've studied in my life, or read even, or some things I have a very good knowledge of. Others I'm just getting into. Others I know very minimally, but I'd really like to explain them as I see them. So, in regards to those, it's going to be like The Art of War, which I think is a very, very good thing to for anyone to read for any circumstance, not even combat. I mean, it really The Art of War can be applied in so many aspects of your life that I think it's worth reading and understanding. The Tao Te Ching is another one that I believe is a pretty important book, and in fact, I think the Tao Te Ching has been translated more times than any other book aside from the Bible, which kind of tells you how important people think that one is. These are all things that can help you in life. They're not anything that is. It's not a religious thing. It's more of a just kind of guidelines. The Tao Te Ching especially is basically, it means the way or the path, and what it does is it tells you the natural order of things, how things work, how things should work, based on the author's expertise. Now, I do think that the Tao is important because it's like it's there regardless of whether or not you acknowledge it or whether you even know it exists. It's kind of, I liken it to standing in the middle of a river and having an idea of, okay, I want to go this way. If you're standing in the river and the way that you want to go is against the current, you're going to have a really hard time to do that. Versus going with the flow of the river, things will be. It's a lot easier to move in the direction of flow of the river as opposed to against. I gotta imagine that's what most people will take from it, is that regardless of whether or not you understand it, regardless of whether or not you know it exists, or regardless of whether or not you adhere to it, the natural order of things move in such a way that they do it with or without you, and your kind of ease in going through it is just a matter of going with the flow or going against it. So I think I want to really go, maybe not verse by verse of that book, but there are some that stick out to me more than others that I think are very important. So maybe in later videos I'll do that. I'd like to touch on awareness, consciousness, a little bit of meditation. I kind of feel like the market's really saturated in that regard now. Everyone's talking about meditation and awareness and consciousness. But I mean, for a good reason. We've been locked up for 9 months at this point, and it's starting to get to a lot of people mentally, and as a result physically as well. So I think that meditation and awareness and consciousness can really help a lot of people with that too. All these things help you look inward as opposed to outward for your help, which is, I think, what a lot of people need. There's so many different religious texts that even talk about, basically, I think in the Bible, I don't know exactly what verse. I'm sure some of you know it better than me. But there's, I'm not going to say it exactly, but essentially what it's saying is that you have to clean the vessel inside before cleaning it outside has any benefit. And I feel like I feel like that's a really important thing. You need to take care of yourself so that you can take what you know of yourself and the good qualities you have and even the bad qualities you have, and put that out into the world for the betterment of everyone. Because I do think that when you look for others to help you, you don't always get what you're looking for. And I think that a lot of people don't have the confidence to look at themselves as the master of their own world. So that's what all these things that I'm going to be talking about have to do with. If you guys have any requests that you'd like me to talk about, I'm very welcome, open to that. And I think that would be really fun to kind of have a back and forth with you guys. Like if there's something that you're familiar with that you think is something that you'd like someone else to talk about, it's I'd be more than happy to do that. I think that's a really good thing. A lot of these things I've read myself, not in a classroom, not with other people, not in any kind of like a book club or anything like that. Just things that I've seen myself, read myself, and I think there's good and bad in doing that. The good thing is because obviously you're reading, you're trying to better yourself, you're trying to understand the world better. The downside is that I only have my perspective of these things. So I might be dead wrong on all of them, but it's what I read and how I think about these things that I'd like to really talk about, and hopefully it can help people with that. And I think, perfect example would be I recently started going to this meditation class, and I've been meditating for on and off 20 years. And a lot of the things that I was learning in the class, I already knew. I guess I don't want to say already knew, because even if you know something, I think you can always expand your knowledge of it. But I was already familiar with a lot of it, and I was already practicing some of it myself. What was beneficial was that once I was in this class with other people, I was able to hear their interpretations of the things that we're learning, what they were going through, how they were thinking about it. And that really opened my eyes to things that I never noticed, but it also reinforced the things that I did notice. So I was very grateful for that, and I think that's anything you do, you should always find a community to do it with. There's nothing wrong with doing things by yourself, but you really, really get the best of everything when you have other people to share that with. I just kind of wanted to let you guys, I guess, hear some of my ideas and see what you thought. See if what I said sounds like something of interest to you. And if it is, that'd be great. And if it's not, maybe I gotta get my shit together and do it a little better next time. But this is just gonna be like an intro to what I would like to do. Hopefully I'd get to a point where I'm doing like maybe 1 or 2 of these videos a week. I don't know how long they're gonna be. They might be 10 minutes. They might be 5 minutes. They might be an hour. Whatever I can come up with. I'm not really keen on planning things very much, which is good and a bad thing. But I feel like a lot of times it's better to just know something and then discuss it as you see it, without really any kind of planning, because I think sometimes you try too hard when you do plan things. This is me personally. I know a lot of other people, they need to have their schedule, and that's fine, but I'm not like that. So if I seem a little erratic at the first few of these videos, I do apologize. Like I said, I've not ever done anything like this before. I've not ever really talked about it from any sort of like soapbox, like I think that YouTube or anything else can be. I'm not trying to get up on a soapbox. I'm just trying to help people. If you like my advice and you like what I'm doing, please continue to keep me in mind when you are surfing through things to watch. If you don't like what I'm doing, I'd really appreciate if you could give me some feedback as to what you think I need to do better, because I really feel like I can help people, and I think that this is just going to be kind of a slow-moving thing maybe at first until I really get my chops, but I'd really like even criticism. It doesn't even have to be constructive. If you say that my beard is too long and I need to shave it, that's fine. I'm not going to, but whatever. Just I want interaction with other people, and I want to build a community that is like-minded so that we can really help each other, not only each other within the community, but even people that we don't know. One of the things in my meditation class that we've been hitting on a lot lately is the fact that everybody wants to be free from suffering and they want to be happy. And this is everybody. This is me. This is you. This is your husband, your wife, your kids, your boss, people you don't like. I mean, everybody in this world wants to be free from pain and suffering, and they want to be happy. And I think we all really, really need to understand that, regardless of whether or not we agree with each other all the time, regardless of whether or not we think someone is a kook for thinking what they think, or if we think that the people that we disagree with are completely, out of line, and they don't understand what they're talking about, and they don't know your perspective, or they don't know the next guy's perspective. None of that matters until we understand that we all want to be free from pain and suffering and happy. I think as far as problems go, everyone's got problems, and everyone's problem is the worst thing that they know. Maybe not the worst thing, but it's an uncomfortability at the least, and at the worst, it is the worst thing that they know. I think Bob Marley said it best when he said, "Every man thinks his burden is the heaviest." I've been hearing that lyric for years, and I've never really paid much thought to it before. I was just kind of like, oh, that's part of the lyrics, whatever. But then I really started thinking, especially now with all the unrest that we have, and all the sides, and all the discussions right now. There's a lot of people that they do believe that their burden is the heaviest, and I don't think they're wrong. I think that you only know your experience, and you can't fault someone else for not knowing your own experience. It's kind of like I can experience you experiencing things, but I can't experience your experience. And even if we try to verbalize the experiences that we have, sometimes it doesn't do it justice. So I think that's one thing that I really want to. I really, really want to just kind of beat into the ground with you guys until we all understand it. Is that we're never going to understand exactly where each other are coming from, but we can come to the agreement that we're all coming from somewhere, and that we all want to be happy, and we all want everyone else to be happy. Maybe some people don't think that, but even the people that don't want everyone to be happy, I think there's even a more special place for us to keep them in our hearts, because that's terrible that you wouldn't want someone else to be happy. And I don't know anybody that can not want someone else to be happy and then find happiness themselves, which I think a lot of times is the ultimate problem, is that we're not finding the happiness within ourselves, and because of that, we don't want to I guess be jealous of the person that is happy. But it can be really frustrating to deal with people that just act like that. But we really need to focus on them more, and not treat them like enemies, and not treat them like evil people. We need to show them compassion too, and we need to show everyone compassion. And the funny thing about all of this is that happiness, in my opinion, might not be happiness in your opinion, which is another whole other aspect to this whole thing. Is that again, back to the experience. I can experience you experiencing things, but I can't experience your experience as you're experiencing. So with that in mind, we can really open our minds to understand that we don't have to understand everything, and maybe it's best that we don't. I think one of the things right now wrong with society is the fact that we're not leaving anything up to chance. we're trying really hard not to leave anything to chance. I think that we're, pushing logic a little too far. I think logic is definitely an important aspect of anyone's life, but I don't think it should be the only thing. I think that we should, obviously treat, facts and logic as facts and logic, but we need to understand that facts and logic come from curiosity and people wanting to understand the world around them. Without the curiosity and without the sense of magic, we really can't get any farther than we are right now. I think there needs to be a balance between logic, fact, and magic, and that's another reason why I want to do these videos. I don't know how many there's going to be. I really don't. This might be the only one. I'm a little uncomfortable doing this one, to be honest with you. But I really would like to help people, and I'd like to help myself. I think that one of the things that's wrong when people want to help other people is they feel like there's only so much good things in the world that can happen, and what they don't understand is that everyone can have good things, but we need to help each other get there. And it's not always by giving people things. We could give anybody anything, and it may or may not change their life for the better, or worse. But what we can do is we can give each other time and patience and compassion and love, and in doing so, I imagine it growing. Not only within however many people. Let's say you have 10 people that you always deal with. If you treat them all with kindness, love, compassion, understanding, hopefully that will be the example that they need to then go and do it to everyone in their circles. I really think that would be a good thing for everyone to do. I don't think that we all have to get along as far as ideas go, ideologies or philosophies or anything like that to better each other. I think we can just all get along by respecting each other, and really trying to not further the wedges that have been put in between everyone lately. And I'm guilty of it too. A lot of times, I'm sure there's going to be people that know me that watch this. I'm pretty vocal about things that politicians do, because I'm really trying. With that, it's not that I'm trying to be mean to the people that like the politicians or that adhere to those ideologies. I'm trying to wake people up. I want them to see that we're all being played against each other, and it doesn't have to be that way. And maybe I'm not perfect in that regard. Maybe I could be a little nicer or whatever about it. But I really don't have any ill will towards anybody that I'm speaking to. I do the politicians. I'm not a fan of any of them, as a lot of you will know. But that's going to be another thing. If you want me to expound on that, I will. So yeah, I think that'll be it for right now. I don't even know if I'm going to end up putting this out. I'm going to watch it a couple times, maybe edit some parts out if I can figure out how to do that. And, we'll put it out if I feel like, if I'm confident enough in myself, which is something that I lack. I do lack self-confidence a lot of times. I know some people wouldn't, people that know me wouldn't expect that, but I do have a lack of confidence in my abilities to do things and do things correctly, which I think most people have. I think a lot of people would rather not do something than do it wrong. I'm not always like that, but I am a lot, and that's another reason why I'm trying to do these videos, because I want to hopefully speak to people that think like me in that regard. One of the hardest things to do is to have confidence in yourself, is to take a chance, is to do something different than you normally would. And I'd like to give myself courage to do that, and hopefully give anybody else that listens courage to do it as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll see more of these. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna call this video series or show or whatever it is, I'm going to call it Mind Your Business, and we'll talk about that next time. Thanks.